Clone fatigue is real, guys. And if you collect fragrances, you're probably already feeling it. I don't know how you couldn't. Even if you haven't quite identified it as clone fatigue, this spread in front of me right now, none of these are bad fragrances. Some of them are actually good, some of them are excellent, but they all point to the same problem. For me, clone fatigue isn't about being cheap, low quality, pointless. It's really about diminishing returns. And what I mean by that is that, let's face it, a lot of these fragrances smell like other things that we've smelled before. So the originality it's just not there anymore. You spray something and you think, yeah, I've smelled that before. This is familiar to me. It can be likable. It can be something that you can imagine yourself wearing in certain situations, but is it really trying something new and being unique? No. When everything smells familiar, nothing feels special anymore. And that's the point of this video. Guys, if this is your first time finding this channel, my name is Gerard. Today we are talking about fragrances, but not any specific fragrances individually. I really wanted to focus on the topic of clone fatigue and dupe fatigue, whatever you want to call it. So I have my opinions on it. I have sort of my approach and what I think I'm going to be doing going forward. But this really was set off by one fragrance in particular. And that was this one, Afnan Reef. And if you guys saw my most recent rack store pickup, you know why. This one was super hyped. I spent the better part of a month looking for this fragrance because a lot of you guys had mentioned it was popping up at rack stores. And I wanted to try it. I wanted to try it for myself. I wanted to try it for the channel. And I was completely disappointed by it. People hyped the hell out of it. And I guess I fell for that hype. And I don't think it's just my nose or just something, oh, it's not for me. It is arguably one of the worst fragrances I've smelled in terms of quality, in terms of scent profile, and just, it feels lazy, it feels uninspired, and it smells like a bathroom cleaner to me. And I pissed a lot of people off by being honest about that in my original review, but I'm not sorry for that. That is what this channel is. If you want to just hear a bunch of fragrances get glazed, then you are on the wrong channel. My goal with this channel is to keep some integrity, and because I do love fragrances, and I think there's a place for clones in the community and in collecting. So this is not to trash clones and dupes. But there is a problem. There is a major problem, and a lot of this stuff is just becoming totally redundant. It's being pushed on you guys. I mean, people that don't care about fragrances are talking about why you should buy these, and it's clear, it's evident. But I can understand why someone new to the hobby would come in and see videos like this and think, oh, I need that fragrance. I have to run out and buy it right now. So when I talk about a fragrance in high regard, I love it. So you can rest assured that it's something that I plan on wearing. All things considered, it looks like a lot of fragrances, but in terms of my collection, it's just a small fraction of my collection that's made up by dupes and Middle Eastern fragrances in general. This didn't happen by accident. What we saw was really three things, in my opinion, which was the internet, social media, just influencers, and I call them influencers. I don't call them reviewers because I don't feel like a lot of them are actually reviewing the fragrance. They're influencing you to buy a fragrance, and that's okay. This is a business, that's their thing. So I'm not knocking their hustle, but when it comes to this stuff, you know, this seems to be more pushed on people. And that's, you know, I guess depends on who's spending the money and just determining where that marketing money is going to go. So definitely social media pushing this stuff. There is price pressure. So, you know, prices are going up on designers, way up on niche fragrances, and designers got lazy. You know, there's nothing, everything is safe now. There is no real, everything smells the same. So it's pushed people into clones and into dupes because it's giving you the opportunity at a smaller price point to try some of these niche style fragrances. You can argue whether or not that's moral. Some people like to call it complete theft because you're stealing someone else's idea. A lot of times the way some of these dupes get around that is by maybe throwing in a small twist, and some people appreciate those twists. Some people own both. They own the original and they own the dupe. And sometimes there might be a little something different in the dupe, and people enjoy that and they feel like it's not redundant in their collection. I personally have smelled dupes that, for me, are better than the original. So you have this kind of perfect storm of overproduction of this, price point, this stuff being pushed on people through social media that make fragrances like this really appealing. And at first, when you really start getting serious about trying different things and collecting and buying fragrances, you feel like clones are smart. You're winning. You're saving money. You're getting in the ballpark of a certain scent profile. You're getting to try new things. And that's all true. But then one day you look at your shelf and you realize, am I even reaching for, a fraction of these? Do I have my favorites? Are those ones that I find myself I keep going back to? And I think that's the case with any collector, myself included in that. To me, that's clone fatigue. You're sort of bored with everything that you have. It's kind of a sensory overload. You've smelled a bunch of things and there's no emotional payoff. You don't feel connected to the fragrance. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be able to relate to that. It smells good. You can smell it and be objective about it and say, wow, that's really pleasant. But is it something that you're gonna wanna reach for again and again? And more times than not, no. Now I would ask, why is this different than budget-friendly fatigue, for lack of a better term? And I would say that there are budget scents that still have identity, still have character, still keep you coming back to them because they're so damn good. So this isn't about just a price point or being below budget or whatever. Clone fatigue, again, happens when similarity is the goal versus creativity. The wear experience becomes more predictable, and then it just becomes about this smelling like X. Once you've smelled X 10 times, that magic is long gone. And I think if you're only focused on dupes and clones, you sort of lose an identity in that you aren't discovering new fragrances in the way that originally brought you into the hobby. You're just trying to smell like X. You're trying to smell like, whatever that particular fragrance is. And I can appreciate that as well, but to me, that takes the fun out of discovery. I'm not anti-clone, but I am anti-buying the same scent profile over and over again and calling it a collection. For me, clone fatigue is probably the market trying to tell you to slow down, reevaluate, be selective, and stop chasing similarity. Start looking for experiences again, things that originally made a fragrance special and why you loved it. You'll know. When you smell it, you'll know. And part of that is testing things and not buying full bottles just because they smell like X. Part of that is trying samples, going to the mall, going to stores, trying things in person, going to boutiques, smelling a bunch of stuff, and really falling in love with a fragrance. If your shelf looks full but feels empty, this is why. Clone fatigue isn't about smell, because again, these all smell good. It's about the overall meaning of the fragrance and what you get out of it, how it makes you feel. And once that's gone, once you find yourself feeling indifferent to the fragrance, there's no amount of beast mode that can fix it. I could go through this entire collection right now and pick my favorites. And I've given away a lot. I've given a lot away to friends and family. I do giveaways on the channel all the time because I know that a lot of you guys would appreciate these fragrances. And I'm just putting them here as an example of where we're at. And, going forward, I am going to be much more critical. I already feel like I've been pretty critical on certain fragrances, particularly some of the dupes compared to the originals that I've smelled. And I'm just going to continue to do that. I'm not going to change. Doing that video on Rare Reef sort of opened my eyes and people were kind of split on it, but then a lot of you guys agreed with me too, saying that it was shit, that it is not a good fragrance, and that you kind of felt taken advantage of and duped when you went out and bought it and it sucked. So I'm very mindful of that. I know that, you know, you guys work hard for your money. So when I'm talking about a fragrance, I make sure it's something that I really think is special and smells great. And, you know, that's important to me. So would love to know you guys' thoughts on it. Are you strictly clones, dupes? Are you feeling some of the clone fatigue? I know you guys are. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the subject. Drop it in the comment section down below. I truly appreciate all the love and support, guys. We are on the road to 27,000 subscribers. It has been an amazing journey. I'm so happy with where we're at. When you guys like these videos, when you share them, when you comment, it truly helps the channel grow. And we're just getting started, in my opinion. This channel is gonna evolve. I have now memberships open, so my plan is to share more behind the scenes stuff there for you guys, let you get to know me a little more, and I'm looking forward to that. And just how, you know, I've been passionate about fragrances since I was a kid. I tell a story all the time. I was in junior high, and not junior high, I was in elementary school, and my mother bought me my first fragrance, which was Brut. And I was the only elementary school kid smelling like Brut, I promise you that. My mother introduced me to it, sort of just fragrances in general. And they have been a part of my life for most of my life. So I take this shit seriously. I love it. I love you guys. I love trying different things. And I have a channel and I feel obligated to talk about a lot of this stuff because you guys are buying it and it's important to me to give my opinion on it. And a lot of you guys want my opinion on this stuff. So as long as you guys continue to watch, I'll continue to do these videos. Again, I appreciate the love, the support, and I'm gonna continue to talk about dupes. Don't get me wrong, I will continue to talk about dupes, but this is how I feel. I am truly feeling a little bit of clone fatigue. They need to switch it up. Designers, you guys need to step it up. You need to start doing things differently. Prices are prices, I get it. But you need to start taking chances and stop being so damn safe. And clones, come up with some originals. Some houses, Nusik, Maison Azra, Rayhan. These are some amazing inspired by houses that I would love to see some original stuff from. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Again, drop it in the comments, your thoughts. I kind of rambled on, but hopefully you get something from this video. If you like content like this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you're updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.